Mr. and Mr. Kumar taught me biology and Islam. Mr. and Mr. Kumar led me to study zoology and religious studies at the University of Toronto. Mr. and Mr. Kumar were the prophets of my Indian youth. So he expresses his gratitude for their guidance, and he also shows us his openness of mind and spirit. And then he goes on to describe 2 moments of intense religious experience that he had. He says that the presence of God is the finest of rewards. That when you have these moments of a sense of the connectedness with God, that is when you feel this intense spirituality. And he describes the 2 for us, one in India and one in Canada. He then also turns to talk about his family and their religious beliefs and feelings. Father saw himself as part of the new India, rich, modern, and as secular as ice cream. He didn't have a religious bone in his body. He was a businessman, pronounced busyness man in his case. A hard-working, earthbound professional, more concerned with inbreeding among the lions than any overarching moral or existential scheme. It's true that he had all new animals blessed by a priest, and there were 2 small shrines at the zoo, one to Lord Ganesha and one to Hanuman, gods likely to please a zoo director, what with the first having the head of an elephant and the second being a monkey. But Father's calculation was that this was good for business, not good for his soul, a matter of public relations rather than personal salvation. Spiritual worry was alien to him. It was financial worry that rocked his being. What about Pi's mother? Mother was mum, bored and neutral on the subject. A Hindu upbringing and a Baptist education had precisely cancelled each other out as far as religion was concerned, and had left her serenely impious. So she is not pious, she's the opposite of pious, she's just serenely, happily, calmly, peacefully non-religious. I suspect she suspected that I had a different take on the matter, but she never said anything, when as a child I devoured the comic books of the Ramayana and the Mahabharata and an illustrated children's Bible and other stories of the gods. She herself was a big reader. She was pleased to see me with my nose buried in a book, any book, so long as it wasn't naughty. And then we come to Pi's brother. As for Ravi, if Lord Krishna had held a cricket bat rather than a flute, if Christ had appeared more plainly to him as an umpire, if the Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, had shown some notions of bowling, he might have lifted a religious eyelid. But they didn't. And so he slumbered. So he's asleep. His religion never woke up because all he's interested in is cricket. And then we have this wonderful moment when the 3 religious leaders of the different places of worship that Pi has been attending meet at the same moment with the family. And what we get here is an extract from their conversation. Hindus and Christians are idolaters. They have many gods. Muslims have many wives. There's salvation only in Jesus. What have you started noticing? They're intolerant. Their truth is the truth. There is no other truth. And notice they also are insulting of each other, and they come out with the cliches and the stereotypes to demean and insult and criticize the other person's religion. And the kinds of things they say, look at this, Hindus and Christians are idolaters, many gods, Muslims have many wives. These are not reasonable engagement with the beliefs of the other religion. They are insulting, they are irritable, they're really unpleasant, and they are more. Dallying with these foreign religions, the slave driver of the caste system. Hindus enslave people and worship dressed up dolls. They are golden calf lovers. They kneel before cows. Do you want the real religion or myths from a cartoon strip? gods or idols, our gods or colonial gods. They do agree that Pi has to choose one religion, that he cannot follow all of them. But Pi shows that he understands the fundamental principles of the religions, and he tries to express this against all of this fury and anger and heat. And Pi's father, in fact, tries to remain calm. He reminds everybody that there is freedom in India, and there's freedom of practice in India. So you can practice whichever religion you want. And all three leaders at this point turn on Pi's father. Three apoplectic faces turn to him. Apoplectic is when you're so angry, you've gone red and purple, and there's steam coming out of your ears, and you're about to have a hemorrhage in the brain. Yes, practice, singular. The wise men screamed in unison. Three index fingers, like punctuation marks, jumped to attention in the air to emphasize their point. They were not pleased at the unintended choral effect or the spontaneous unity of their gestures. Their fingers came down quickly, and they sighed and groaned, each on his own. And then Pi answers them, and this is what he says. Bapu Gandhi said, "All religions are true. I just want to love God."